So here we are at the Wiley house, about to head up Mount Willey. Pretty good views just from the trailhead. It's the Wiley house over there, and that's where we're heading. So we have the Kedron Flume Trail, 0.75 miles of Kedron Flume, 1.3 to Ethan Pond Trail. So we're gonna head up that way, where the views here are pretty good. You don't even have to leave the parking lot. I wanted to get away from the road noise before I made a detailed video what I was doing. I have hiked down this. This is a Wiley. I'm on Ethan Allen Trail or something right now, which leads over to up to the Willey Range Trail. Last time I had hiked these mountains, we went up from the AMC Center and hit, I believe, Tom first, Field, and then Wiley. And when we got up to Wiley, people were talking about the ladders on the Willey Range Trail, that they were fun. So we came down this way and actually hitchhiked back to the car. So I've only been down this trail. So there's a sign, Kedron Flume, 0.6 miles. I don't even know what that is. I don't remember that from the first time here. But anyways, so we came down this trail, and then come to find out, these ladders on the Willey Range Trail are one of the, on the list of the most terrifying, 25 terrifying. So I figured I'd come back up it this time and film it. Also, I'm working on my Trailwright 72, which you have to actually hike each mountain from the trailhead. You can't bag peaks. So I basically gonna come back and do two of these mountains out of the three again, one at a time. So here we go. Bag Wiley today, count one of the other ones from last time, and then come back one more time. So we found the bear cave. There's a place to camp. If I remember correctly, we're coming up to a railroad tracks for, I think it's the North Conway Scenic Railroad. Here, lots of chainsaws going up here too, so they must be working on it. But I just wanted to add also, this is very much an active railroad. The first time I hiked up here, I was actually gonna, instead of hitchhike, I was gonna walk the tracks back. So I saw that sign, they're down there working on it. So I just basically cross it, keep going up that way. Nothing like the smell of chainsaw exhaust if you're not running the chainsaw. So I'm coming up here, and there was a recent mudslide, and it was just reminded me that the Wiley family actually died in a mudslide or hillslide or whatever it was called then. They tried to escape it. It's pretty interesting history. I'll link put the link below. They had made some type of secure spot, so if it was gonna, the mountain's gonna slide at all, they could hide out, and they ended up being found all dead. I don't believe they found one of the bodies, and the house was untouched, so if they would have stayed in the house, they would have survived. But anyways, I gotta use a boat, all hands and feet to get up this one. It's extremely slippery. Seeing the first views over the tree line. Not much to see yet. Here's a pretty good lookout at the top before you get to the summit. Overlooks everything. But I guess I just ran into someone else. He was down, I found the flume. I crossed it real quick and forgot about it the first time here. He said he was the only car when he got here When I got here, his car was there and somebody pulled in behind me, so there isn't many people here today. It's a Thursday, weekday. I was actually working up here in the North Conway area. Decided to get lunch at the top of Mount Willey. So, and of course when I got into the parking lot, first thing I did was drop my tripod and break my tripod. So I'm winging it on stuff like that. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to climbing here. It's all uphill after you hit the railroad tracks. Okay, here we are at the first intersection. So far, we back to the Wiley house. We'll be 1.3 miles down the Kedron Flume Trail. And then down this way is Crawford Notch, about 1.6 miles. I believe it's the trailhead if you're gonna do Frankenstein Cliffs, which I've done. Great area to hike also. Ethan Pond campsite, 1.3 miles. Never been up that way. And then Willey Range Trail, 0.3 miles. So we're gonna hit the Willey Range Trail. If I have time on the way down, maybe I'll hit the campsite. I've never seen a campsite or a lean-to yet in the White Mountains. Plenty of huts, but not any campsites. I don't know if there's something to avoid when I'm camping out or not, but only one way to find out. Next intersection, we have Ethan Pond Trail, which is the Appalachian Trail. I believe we've been on it for the last half a mile or so. And if you want to go to Zealand Falls Hut, it's only 5.8 miles. We were there 2 weeks ago, a week ago. I have a video of it real quick. It was mobbed when I was there. And then the Ethan Pond campsite's a mile up that way. So it's a mile the opposite way, unfortunately. But when I come back, I might go check it out. And then we are heading for the Willey Range Trail. So Mount Willey, or it could be Willey. I've heard it said both ways. I don't know what it is. There's 1.1 more miles. Mount Field, 2.5. The AZ Trail, which will go up to Tom, I believe, is 3.4 miles. But I'm only going up to Willey today. So, but I just wanted to add a little side note. These trekking poles are my second pair. They're Cascade Mountain Techs. The first pair I dropped a tree on, so it wasn't the trekking pole's fault. I still have one. These poles have been great. I think they're $22. This time around, I got the ones with the cork grips, which I really like. My son likes the foam or whatever they are. I had those the first time. I didn't really like them. And then you can actually, for another $20, get a pair of carbon fiber ones. Save you quite a bit of weight. I think it's like, I'm not sure if it's 7 ounces per pole or for the pair, but I use mine all the time and never carry them, so I saved myself $20, which probably shouldn't have, but I'll put a link for them. I think I got them on Amazon. They probably sell them other places, but Amazon, $22 for the 2 different styles, and then $42 for the carbon fiber ones. And also, I'm still using the trail runners. I guess I'm bought and sold on those. I do notice that it rained up here either early this morning or last night, and I do notice that these ones are a little bit more slippery on some of these rocks. It's weird. It's kind of hit or miss. So I just take it a little bit slower, but my ankles feel a lot better using these in the boots. So I think I'm sold. I'll probably get another. I actually been wearing them to work too. Oh, here's some water. I need to fill up. So I made the mistake of pulling my GPS out and looking at it. Less than a mile to go in like 1,300 feet of elevation before I hit Mount Willey. So it's gonna get steep. But so far today, I've seen one person, and just those 2 people getting out of their car. They had backpacks on, but I don't know if they were coming up here or going across the street, because there is hiking across the street too. A couple water sources so far. The Flume, and then back right right after he split off the AT. I haven't seen much for camping though, because it's been pretty steep. So one flat spot could make do. Kind of close to the trail, but well, far enough away to make it legal. Not as far as I like to be though. But it's been all steep crap, so I didn't plan on camping here anyways. So good thing I didn't bring I left all my stuff in the car, because I'm doing this again tomorrow. Well, not this one, but I'm gonna head home, meet up with my son. He's got tomorrow off, and then I think we're gonna hike Cannon. I'm not sure. Cannon and the Kingsman's. Either that, or I'd like to do Mariah and the other Carters. We didn't Carter Dome, but I think we want a car spot for that, so I'm not sure if we'll do that one tomorrow or not. We're gonna do an overnighter. But anyways, still plugging away, starting to get my trail legs for the day. I've been kind of having that mid-morning gloom there. I don't know if it's because I worked this morning, got up at 2:30, headed out the door, and I had to work for a couple hours or what, but I just been dragging butt here. Anyways, starting to get a little energy in me, and I think it's because I finally stopped and chugged some water. But and it reminded me of a couple gear changes this trip. Well, here's a nice steep part. Good thing I just got my energy, huh? Ooh, crooked. I have dumped my Camelback. It wasn't really a Camelback, it was made by Osprey. I have just had it with that thing. Just randomly stops working. I have to actually take my pack off, unplug where the hose plugs in. Every time I take my pack off, the hose is in the ground. You get in camp at night, and I've tried hanging it from trees, my hammock, because I like to drink water at night. So then I started carrying a water bottle so I could have some water at night when I was in my hammock and didn't have to get out. And when I was going for a day hike to do the Hancocks, I had my day pack packed up and I didn't have enough room. The water bladder was just taking up all the room. And so I went out and bought some smart water bottles, water, drank the water and kept the bottles because they fit perfect with my Sawyer filter. So I am now Camel or whatever, reservoir free. No more drinking plastic, no more worrying about putting lemon juice in my water so I don't taste the plastic. Whew. Yeah, getting steep here now. Not the famous stairs. Well, they call them ladders, but they're really stairs when we hit them up further. She must be almost there. Here we are at the dreaded Willey Range Trail ladders. Are you scared? I'll tell you, when I hit these, like I said before, I parked on the other trailhead by the AMC Lodge. Didn't know about these ladders, didn't know about the 25 most terrifying list, nothing. We were at the top of Wiley and somebody said, oh, there's all kinds of ladders. Well, I got all excited. I'm like, we're going down that way and we're hitchhiking back, whatever it is, 5 miles. I want to see some ladders. When I got there and saw this, I was so disappointed. Whoops. When I saw this, I was so disappointed because I thought I was getting ladders. I got stairs. I'd done stairs before, never done ladders. Goes up and up and up. So here we go. One of the 25 most terrifying, I think it's one of the optional ones, but that's times 2 for me. Actually scarier going down than up, and I'm going to come back down them again. So whew, stair climbing gets the blood flowing though. And we're onward to Mount Willey. Now I'm going to be bored the rest of the way. I see a view. What's that say? My favorite sign in the world. Here we go. The outlook.
Chicken. I think it's because I have a pole. Oh, he just stole it.
Did you actually do that?
Oh, yeah.
I made my way back down from Wiley and decided to head up the AT to Ethan Pond and check out the Ethan Pond and Ethan Pond shelter. I just came up a little incline, but according to the topographical map, it should peter out after this next hill. So it looks like all flat walking for about a mile, or actually a little bit less now. So anyways, I'm gonna go up and check out my first shelter. It's pretty bad, I haven't come across one until now. Well, not yet, soon. So here's my first shelter, I guess. Tent sites and platforms. I guess my first privy. Oh, nice. It's like obviously there's nobody here. It's like winter's coming or something. So here we go, Ethan Pond campsite. Logbook. It says 9:29 at 11 a.m. last of the Nobos. Okay. Looks like the last time somebody signed the book. $10 a night. Well, ain't much to see here. You are here. June 1st to mid-September. So yeah, there's only a caretaker here till mid-September. So I guess it's free now, but you can't have fires here. So, and I wouldn't, the tent platforms I saw wouldn't work for my hammock, I don't think. So I'm glad I came down to take a look at it, because I was going to stay here one time, and you can't actually have fires, and when I camp I want a fire. So, but at least we got to check it out. Ethan Pond. Ooh. Pretty rough trail for them to be coming through at night. You gotta watch where you're going. And here is the public water source. This is what you'd be drinking if you're on the AT. Here we are at the intersection to go down to Ethan Pond Shelter. It's 0.14 miles down that way. And we are on, obviously, the Ethan Pond Trail, which is the AT. Doesn't look like anybody's been down through here. So I'm thinking that even the flip-floppers have dried up. It was, like the logbook said, the last Nobo that came through here was on the 28th of September. So I would think cutting it a little close too. But I don't know if Katahdin's still open or not. But anyways, let's make the mile hike back to where we came from. Go down and check out the, I don't remember what they called it. The flume, I think. And then get out of here. Head home. Work for a couple hours in the morning. And then come right back to the White Mountains with my son. And figure out where we're going to go. Spend the night out in the woods in my hammock, which I love my hammock so much that I actually have been sleeping in it in the spare bedroom. We put eye hooks in the wall and I set it up, and I only have a 0-degree quilt, so I got to keep the room cold or I sweat. Not quilt, I'm not using, excuse me, under quilt. Because if I don't use it, I feel that cool on my butt, so I can't sleep. So I put the under quilt on real loose so it gets a little bit of air, and then shut the door and keep the room cool at night. Ooh, but I think I sleep in one all the time. Love it. Sleep great. Here we are back down to Kedron Flume. Got some views here. So we're back in the car. It was a really good hike. I ended up hiking a little over 7.5 miles. My max altitude was 4112. Minimum was 1220. So there was quite a bit of elevation gain there. Max speed, man, I don't even care. I don't even pay attention to that. So my stop time was 1 hour and 32 minutes. Total time 5 hours and 53 minutes. And then I got my speed profile, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care about my speed. Average pace was 46.19 minutes per mile. I don't know. I don't even worry about that. I'm just out there to have fun, see the views. Only a couple views, actually. I think the view from the train trestle and the parking lot were probably the best views. The one from the Outlook was okay, and it was cool seeing the shelter. I had never been to an AT shelter or any type of White Mountain shelter or tent site. I don't know if I'd want to sleep in the shelter, but I don't sleep in a tent, so it wouldn't really work for me. Found one campsite that's really a tent site. I marked it for anybody that wants to use it. Really didn't find any place to hang a hammock, so it would be a day trip going up that way. I'm planning on doing one of the other two of the mountains, either Field or Tom, one of the singles. I probably do, because I want to go up and do I think it's Mount Avalon. I heard that one's got some good views. And then hit one of the other peaks, and I'm going to look for some camping spots on that end, because I figure if we come up here in the winter, we might want to camp. But anyways, this is Anthony, and this was a solo hike today up Mount Willey. One more towards my Trailwright 72.